Hello, everybody. It's again me, Edward. It's been a long time. Well, today I would like to review one of my favorite textbooks. Is the Tobira Gateway to Advanced Japanese, or in Japanese, 上級へのとびら. I actually used it a lot when I was in the intermediate level, a long time ago, but I still have the book, and I really like it. And I really think that if you're in the level of, let's say, JLPT wise, it's somewhere between N2 and N3, although this book is not really designed, it's not made for JLPT. You know, it doesn't have really a statement that it's for any level, but I think that looking at the kanji and the grammar points here, I think it's somewhere between N2, N3 and N2. So what I like about this book is that you have a lot of content. It is interesting. You know, usually in a lot of books, textbooks, you have very boring conversations and things like that, sentences that are not really interesting. Usually they talk about classroom, going to the teacher, doing homework, stuff like that. It's not really interesting, but here you have really interesting content. You have, you know, geography of Japan, Japanese speech style, Japanese technology, sports in Japan, food in Japan, even religion, and, you know, things like that. So it's interesting. Now let's take a look at the layout, at the actual structure of the book. So you have 15 chapters here, okay? This is the first one, the first chapter, Nihon no Chiri, Japanese geography. So yeah, here you can see my handwriting. Horrific, really horrific. Yeah, so this is the first reading part, the reading text. It's Nihon no Chiri, about the Japanese geography. It's really interesting. You have a lot of information here, a lot of content, and a lot of vocabulary that is very useful. And of course, you have the tango hyo, which is the vocabulary list that is used in the text. So what I think is best is before you actually read before you read the text, just go over the list, and if there's something you don't know, just try to memorize it, and then you can read it again. Now, one of the best thing about this book is that you actually can download the audio files and you can read it while listening to it, which is really useful, and it helped me a lot. So I'm telling you that from experience. Okay, and again, you have more conversations and more things, you know, and then you have the Boompa note, which is the grammar note. You have all the grammar parts, the grammar how you call them, the grammar points. Yeah, the grammar points that are used in this chapter. And you have a lot of information and a lot of explanations, also in English, and some example sentences. Yeah. And then you have the second chapter, and so on and so on. Now, as I was saying, this book is good not only because of the content, but also you can download the audio files. But not only that, if you actually go to the website of Tobira, you can actually download more stuff. You can have these things, the worksheets. Okay, so after every chapter that you finish, this is, for example, chapter 9. You have the worksheets that you can actually download as PDF files, and then you can print them. You have grammar. This is actually kanji practice. So you have kanji practice, and then you also have Boompa grammar practice, which is really useful, really nice. So I love this book, really. If you want to learn more advanced stuff and you're somewhere between N3 and N2 level, this is the book you should use. I really recommend it. Now, if we're talking about N3, I actually have some books that I used in the past, and I would like to recommend them. So first of all, we have this one. It's the Nihongo Soumatome, everybody knows about it. I think really, really famous. So, you have these lessons every day. You have 2 pages that you have to do, and then after every week you have like a test. You see, this is the test. It's in the same format as JLPT, so it's really nice. Now, some books are good in this series, but some books are not really good. So this one, for example, the Go-i, the vocabulary book, and the kanji book, and also the reading book, the Dokkai, these are really good. I can't recommend the listening book because I never used it, because frankly I don't really need that, so I never used it. I can't tell you anything about it. But the the Boompa book. I'm sorry, my English is really bad today. I'm thinking in Japanese and I'm trying to say things in English and I find it really difficult, so I'm sorry about that. But the Boompa book, the grammar book, is not really good, because what they do, they actually give you a list of grammar points, which is good. And they give you some explanation in Japanese, which is really good. But then they just give you a few sentences, a few example sentences, and they don't show you the difference in the nuance, which is really important. So, I mean, if you wanted to have this book, the Boompa book, I mean, you can have it, but I won't rely on it. If you're studying for the JLPT test and you're relying only on the Nihongo Soumatome Boompa book, God will help you, really. I think that you will have much more, it will be it will be very useful to you if you use the Kanzen Master, which is packed with grammar and with example sentences and with practice. A lot of practice. You will be able to practice. You'll have a lot of exercises, which is really important. Okay. Now we have this book, which is, the name of this book is Hajimete no Nihongo Noryoku Shiken Ensan Tango Nisen, which is the 2000 Essential Vocabulary for the JLPT N3. Very nice book. I used to use it a lot. Basically, you have all the vocabulary for the test. Okay, and it's divided into days and weeks. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it divided into chapters. It has nothing to do with days. Just you just read them. So what you have this is about relationship between people, and then you have another chapter about studies, and then you have another chapter about work and food and stuff like that. So you can find all the words, and you also have this red sheet. I actually never used this, but you can actually put this like that, and you can actually hide some of the words, and you can see if you remember, which is, I mean, it's nice. I never used this red sheet, but it's it's a nice thing to have. So this book is really nice. Oh, and another thing I forgot to tell you, that you can actually download worksheets for this also. After you finish the book, you can actually test yourself. So it's really good. And of course, you can also download the audio files to listen to it, which is also really, really useful. This book, Shin Nihongo 500 questions, or I don't know how to call this in English. Anyway, really good book. You have practice. Actually, it's not really practice. It's, I think you can call it a review book. I wouldn't use it as a primary source to learn for a test, but you can actually examine and test yourself on Moji, which is the reading of kanji, and then the Go-i, which is the vocabulary, and the Boompa, which is the grammar. So this one is divided into 4 weeks. You see, 4 weeks, and then every day you have 15 questions. Okay, everything. This is 100% JLPT format. So you have a question, you can choose one of them, one of the answers, and then when you go to this page, you can see the correct answer and an explanation. The same with that. This is my favorite part, the Boompa. because I'm actually a grammar freak. I really love grammar, so yeah, really nice. And at the end of every week, let me just show you. Let's go to the 7th day. If we go to the last day, yeah, here you have the test. So here they actually test you. Great book, like it. Basically that's it. So maybe in a few days I would make another video about tips for learning languages, because I actually had some requests from people, so I maybe do that in a few days. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can write down and I'll try to answer. Thank you very much and have a nice day.